Welcome back to the virtual hangar. Today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute Macramé Cactus Keychain. Your kit will include one keychain finding, about a yard of 6mm cotton cord, and about 30 yards of this 3mm green cotton cord. We are going to get right started with our thicker cord here. I just fold it into 3 parts, so I fold it in thirds. We want one piece that is about a third of the piece, and then the other piece to be about 2/3. So however you want to measure that, we're just going to cut so that one is about a foot long, and then the other is about 2 feet long. And we are going to use this for the base of our project. So let me show you kind of a roadmap of how we are going to go. With the smaller piece, I am going to fold it directly in half and then take the longer piece on the outside. I'm using pins here on a corkboard so that you can really see the shape that you're trying to make. One side will be the arm, curve the other side as an arm, and then that is sort of how we're going to be doing this project. Macrame is a little bit of a misnomer here. This is more of like a wrapping and weaving project. We are going to start by taking our green cotton cord here. It may be in a ball, it may be in a lump. I did my best. We're going to find the center, grabbing the 2 ends and then finding the other end to find the middle. Make a loop and stick it through our keychain finding and then pull the 2 ends through that loop to attach the cord to the finding. So here I go, pulling the rest of the ends and just pulling it tight. That's a nice, I believe, a lark's head knot. Once you've all attached, I'm going to take one side, take my hand, my thumb, and my pinky, and make a figure 8 starting at the finding going down to the end. I do this so that you can pull from it and continue wrapping. I'm just going to wrap once or twice around with the tail here and tie the bundle in a knot. This helps kind of keep the cord more manageable so you're not working with 15 yards at once. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So you can pull from the finding end of that cord and undo the bundle, and the knot will keep the rest of it in place. So I've got one on one side, one on the other. I'm going to take my 2 cords here that are thicker. I'm going to put the shorter one in the middle, right in the center, and then I'm going to take the longer one right in the middle and center it. So you can see how I find the middle there. I'm going to center it right under my lark's head knot there. So we've got the longer cord on top and the shorter cord on bottom as sort of the center core of the trunk of our cactus. We're going to start by doing the right side of the wrap. We are going to take the green cord and wrap from underneath over to the top of the long cord. So we're just wrapping around it once. Yep, with my fingers there you can see. And I'm gonna, without moving the position of the longer cord, I am going to wrap it around quite tightly. Not terrifically tightly, but just enough so that it actually stays. Working on the table was a lot easier the first time I did this. I did it kind of in my lap, and it turned out a little funkier. So I encourage you to work flat. And it's really going to be about controlling your tension and maintaining the wrapping. You can see I then go from the underside of the top cord down and over the center core to do sort of a figure 8 again, and I'm going to pull those tight to keep them nice and together. And I'm going to do that same thing again. So the look we're going here is that these are going to the green is going to coil around these 2 6mm, the thicker, beige cord, normal cotton color. And rather than pulling them tight, you are kind of trying to preserve the thickness of that cord. To make this curve around, I'm going to coil the green around the tan twice before crossing in the middle to go up and over the center one. And you can see I'm trying to kind of regulate my tension here to make the coils sit nicely next to each other. And ideally, you wouldn't want to see any of the beige, and you're kind of working with the wrapping to make that happen. So a little closer here, we're now going to do the same thing with the left side and the left side of the string. So I'm wrapping around the top once. I'm going to wrap up and over the core cord. That's not going to work the whole video. Wrap up and over, down and around. I'm crossing the cord always in the middle because I don't want to have the cord cross the top of both cords at once. I want to make this kind of coiled look. I am going to wrap twice again around the top before I go back down into the center. Now you can see kind of how that generates the curve. I have like 8 wraps on the top to 4 wraps on the bottom. And I'm going to repeat that same sort of 2 then 1 pattern again, I believe twice more on both sides, where I do 2 on the top for every 1 on the bottom, and that's what's going to make that really nice tight top of the cactus. So I did 2 to 1 there. I'm going to do 2 to 1 on the other side just to keep it even. You can see I'm holding it down a lot with my hands. There are no knots in this project, so that is really what's helping us maintain the tension until we get this really starting to be woven. At the very beginning here, it is going to be a little bit fussy. So you can see I did 2 more on that side before I go around again. And if you find your tension is different, you don't have to wrap the same amount of times or same directions or anything. You do, follow your cactus heart or whatever. When my top is in that nice curve, I am now going to show you how to connect the 2 sides together. So when you go across the whole row, you can see how the cord wraps in the middle to make that coil. I didn't quite like just going straight under the next one, so I actually double wrap this center one. So I go from the top down and around, up over the top again, scooting it nice and close so that I don't have those tan gaps. I'm going to cross in the middle to connect it to the other side of the core with my going under and then over again. So pulling those 2 center pieces nice and tight together because this is going to be our whole foundation. So you can see how I went under that left side of the centerpiece, over and back under. I always do this double wrap as I go across because I think that it helps um, hide the crossing a little bit better. So it really looks like it's just 4 pieces of string that we wrapped around. But now we have the problem of both of these cords being on the left side, and we don't really want these coils to cross each other. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to take the left hand side that I wasn't working with, right? So the right hand bobbin was going over the top of the farthest coil. I'm going to take the left hand bobbin and now go back across the row again. So my bobbin, my 2 lengths of cord have switched sides now, but I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap over this first center part, wrap it again. It's almost like you're double wrapping it. It's more than you would think you would want to, right? Okay, I've got that. I'm going to keep it nice and scoot it up to the top, and then not crossing over the top of that one, I'm going to go under it. And actually what we're doing is alternating whether we wrap around clockwise or counterclockwise, believe it or not. That's kind of what makes it weaving, is the alternating of the under over. And when we cross in the center like that, we're also alternating whether we have 2 wraps or 1 wraps showing on the surface that we're looking at, right? So you can see this, the left-hand side of the core there has 2 and the right side has 1. If we flipped it over to the back side of the table, it would be the opposite. So we're just trying to work here and keep the rows even with the number of wraps. And now that I've got this started, actually, I'm going to switch to the corkboard, so hopefully you can see a little bit better. So the name of the game here is really keeping the rows level and also evenly using both ends of the cord. So I'm going across again for another row here, and I want to keep all the wraps kind of parallel to this horizontal axis. So I'm doing another row here with the green cord on the right side all the way around, and you can see how I compensated for the previous row. Now the left side has 1 and the right side has 2 on that core section. I think I'm going to take now the left-hand side. I'm going to cross that under around that far end, and that's where I'm going to do the switch with the left-hand side. So again, the bobbins are going to switch sides frequently. We are going to try and keep our use even for both sides. The name of the game is to make sure the two of them end up on different sides so that you aren't using the same length of cord for both arms, because the arm is going to take up a single length of cord a lot on its own side. So, all right, here we go. We're going to start the arm. I don't really like that. Well, I guess if I keep scooting, um, yes, that's better. Okay, so to start the arm, I'm going to wrap one more time just to make it a little bit more even. We are going to kind of make that shape, make it up however length of arm you can get away with so that the bottom end of your tail lines up with the other bottoms, right? You want to make sure you've got enough so that your cactus isn't like weird and stubby. And then you're going to just loosely take the green up to the top, the tip top of that arm. I'm going to wrap it, I think I do just once, going under and over. It doesn't matter what direction you pick. And I'm just going to pin it so that it's stable for you to see. And I do 4 wraps around to make the top end of the cactus here. I think I end up doing, there's 5 and now 6, because we want it to curve around and not leave any gaps. So as many as you think you need to do. Again, these wraps are just loose. They're tight enough to stay, but loose enough so that you're not really compressing the center core, the thicker cotton. So I think that ended up being 8 for me before I cross in the center. And then I'm going to go under the close side of the arm. And I'm going to just wrap around that sort of traveling length of the cord that got us to the end there, because we're going from the hand of the arm to the tummy of the cactus. What a silly way to say that. So I'm just going to wrap this a few more times until I get a good straight section. This is what makes the forearm part of this cactus arm. I don't want it to be too tight, which is kind of what I did here in the video. I just go over and under maybe a good 4 times. I'm going to just keep going so that he's about where I want him to be. Golly, I guess I did a bunch of these, huh? Maybe like 6 or 7. When I want to start turning the elbow, I'm going to wrap 2 on the outside, and just kind of adjusting here on tension, and 1 on the inside. I'm going to do that 3 times in a row. So this is my second one where I wrap 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside, and then 1 more time here, 2 on the outside. Actually, I think I do 3 on the outside here. So the 2 will give it a slight bend. The 3 gives it a nice sharp corner. So I do 3 turns for that one, and then I'm going to do 1 turn on the crook of the elbow here. I'm going to go over. There we are. And now we've sort of got our good strong turn there. That's what gives us that 90-degree angle, the Seguro kind of look. I'm going to go over back on the far side of the arm and then under and over again, and we are going to start just doing a couple more even weaves here just to give them a good strong bicep and bring the bicep part of the arm all the way to the body of the cactus here. And I'm going to end that weave by taking the cactus arm side after I bring the left side over. I'm going to come all the way to the arm side with the left side bobbin I was using. Again, using that alternating pattern. I'm going to wrap up and over where the shoulder would be with the bobbin thread that I wasn't using, and then the side that I was using, I'm going to actually wrap in that same place because I don't really like that big gap there. I'm going to take the side of the cord that I wasn't using to make the arm. I'm going to bring it back over to the left side where it came from and just send him back home. We're going to alternate to keep that row nice and even, and I'm definitely going to do 2 wraps on the left-hand side there. And then I'm going to just finish off this join to make the arm connect to the rest of the body. I had wrapped up and over the shoulder, and then I'm going to just wrap from the left-hand core to the right-hand core, just in an even weave. I guess it'd be the right hand outside before I go and start making sure this is nice and even and connecting those 2 sides together before I start my left hand arm. We definitely want the left hand arm to start sort of at the bottom of the right hand arm. So I'm just going to make sure that all my coils are nice and even before I start myself here on another arm and measure it nice and well. So same exact process that I did on the right side, I'm going to do again on the left, just in reverse. So I'm going to use a little bit of movie magic here so that it doesn't just, you don't have to watch me do it again 35 hours later. Again, this isn't really a technique heavy project, and honestly, if you get kind of frustrated with it, you could definitely come into the hangar and borrow a hot glue gun and wrap the longer one in green and the shorter one in green and then glue the whole thing in a cactus shape. But I have to make it educational, so we're going to try it as sort of a weaving technique. And I actually did have a lot of fun. Less of a keychain, more of a luggage tag. It's quite a large keychain for your regular keys, but it might make your airport suitcase stand out a little bit and give you a little taste of that Southern California home. So just about finished here on my left hand arm. Now that that's done, I've connected it in the same method. I really wanted that gap where the arms meet the body to be small. So now I am just not crossing in the outside where you can see, but just wrapping evenly with both sides all the way down to the bottom until my cactus is as tall as I can make him. So just keeping the rows nice and even, keeping the coils as parallel as I can be on that horizontal axis, and making sure that I don't run out of thread as I get down to the bottom. So when I'm just about done here wrapping, I only have a few more rows, just doing it nice and even. I'm just going to look at my two bobbins as I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to make it to the end. I pick whichever one is shorter, I am going to trim and just kind of keep in the center here to weave over. I actually end up pulling that one more to the middle as I cross and go around. Now I'm just working with one bobbin of the cord that I have left, as long as I know I have enough to make it to the end. On these last two rows, I'm actually going to weave a lot looser than I have been. Because what you're going to do is when you get to the end, you're about as far as you can go. My cord really flattened out here towards the bottom. I'm going to just loosen these up a hair so that I can cut off an inch or two and pull that end of the cord through the last two rows of the loops. So try and get as little of this as possible. I'm going to just thread it here through the top two or the bottom two loops. Make sure I get all of the fibers, which I did not do here. Oh, now I've done it. Here we go. Get the rest of the cord to go all the way through and then pull it nice and tight and then re-tighten those last two rows. So just kind of pulling from one end to the other to just tie it off there on the bottom. Again, if you are more comfortable, you could put a little bit of glue on that, but the knots really ought to hold themselves. Your last row should be nice and tight. I'm going to take my scissors and trim that the two remaining ends as tight as I dare. And then I am going to do the best, most satisfying part. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and just trim so that there's only about a nice even centimeter across the bottom of this, natural color cotton showing. And there you have it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to see what you make, and we will see you next time.